The Tylenol murders, a chilling mystery that changed America. A quiet morning in Chicago. It was the morning of September 29, 1982, and the city of Chicago was alive with its usual rhythm. In the suburban town of Elk Grove Village, Mary Kellerman, a 12-year-old girl with an infectious smile, woke up feeling under the weather. She told her parents about her sore throat, and they handed her a bottle of extra-strength Tylenol, a household staple for pain relief. Mary swallowed the capsule and went back to bed. Moments later, a strange sound echoed through the house. Her parents found her collapsed on the bathroom floor. They rushed her to the hospital, but it was too late. Mary was pronounced dead. A chain of tragedy. That same day, in Arlington Heights, another family faced an unimaginable loss. Adam Yanis, a 27-year-old postal worker, had just returned home from work. Feeling unwell, he grabbed a bottle of Tylenol from his medicine cabinet. Within minutes of swallowing the capsule, Adam collapsed in front of his family. His relatives, in shock and grief, gathered at his house to support each other. Later that day, his younger brother, Stanley, and Stanley's wife, Teresa, each took a Tylenol from the same bottle to ease their stress headaches. Minutes later, they too collapsed. By the end of the evening, both were dead. The city on edge. News of the deaths spread quickly. In Chicago and its suburbs, whispers of fear turned into a citywide panic. In total, 7 people would lose their lives over the next few days, all linked to Tylenol capsules laced with cyanide. Authorities worked frantically to connect the dots. Hospitals flagged the Tylenol bottles from the victims' homes, and investigators discovered the horrifying truth: the capsules had been tampered with. Someone had opened the bottles, replaced the contents of some capsules with lethal doses of cyanide, and returned them to store shelves. A nation in fear. The revelation sparked a nationwide crisis. Pharmacies across the country removed Tylenol from their shelves, and people dumped their bottles into the trash. Fear grew as everyone wondered, could they be next? Johnson & Johnson, the makers of Tylenol, faced a nightmare scenario. They issued a massive recall of 31 million bottles, urging consumers to return or dispose of them. The company also took the unprecedented step of halting all production of the product, showing their commitment to public safety even at great financial cost. The hunt for a killer. The investigation into the murders was one of the largest in U.S. history. Local police, the FBI, and the FDA joined forces, combing through evidence, interviewing suspects, and tracking every lead. A break in the case came when a man named James William Lewis sent a letter to Johnson & Johnson, demanding $1 million to stop the killings. Lewis was arrested and charged with extortion, but investigators couldn't tie him directly to the poisonings. The case went cold. There were no fingerprints on the bottles, no witnesses to the tampering, and no way to track where the cyanide came from. The killer had vanished into the shadows, leaving behind a trail of grief and unanswered questions. A legacy of change. In the aftermath of the tragedy, the world of consumer safety was transformed. Johnson & Johnson introduced tamper-proof packaging, including foil seals, plastic wrap, and child-proof caps, measures that are now standard across the industry. Despite the changes, the mystery of the Tylenol murders remains unsolved. Was it the work of a lone individual with a grudge? A twisted act of domestic terrorism? No one knows. A haunting mystery. Even now, more than 40 years later, the Tylenol murders continue to haunt Chicago and the nation. For the families of the victims, the pain never faded. For investigators, the unanswered questions remain a source of frustration. Somewhere out there, perhaps the person responsible is still alive, carrying the secret of how and why they committed one of the most chilling crimes in modern history. And for the rest of us, the Tylenol murders serve as a stark reminder of how fragile life can be, and how even the most ordinary objects can be turned into instruments of terror. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more about unsolved mysteries and bizarre events, don't forget to like this video, comment your thoughts below, and subscribe to our channel for more intriguing stories. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes the answers we seek are hidden in places we can't even imagine.